Matchday 6 in La Liga EA Sports kicked off with the game between Deportivo Alaves and Sevilla at Mendizorroza. Deportivo Alaves were coming into this game undefeated in their first two La Liga home games so far this term. Sevilla actually were travelling north after their first win of this new season, as they had narrowly beaten Getafe 1-0 at the Ramon Sánchez-Pizjuán. They were aiming for back-to-back victories for the first time this season. It's fair to say it was a game where Sevilla were up against it almost from the start. Deportivo Alaves being physical and aggressive, winning the second balls and most of their duels. Sevilla had the first half chance of the game, if you will, through Isaac Romero, his shot going just wide of the goal. But unfortunately for the Sevilla striker, his evening was very short-lived. After this 50-50 with his former Sevilla teammate Joan Jordan, who was making his first start for Deportivo Alaves. But Jordan, you can just see here, lands by accident completely on the ankle of Isaac Romero. This is about 10 minutes into the game, and he would in fact need to be replaced. Kelechi Iheanacho was the man coming on in his place. More concerning though for Sevilla is when Isaac Romero came out to sit on the bench after half-time, he was on crutches. So we hope that ankle injury is not as serious as feared. So Iheanacho came on to lead the line for Sevilla, but it was Peque who was close next up for Sevilla. A good ball in from the right from Dodi Luque-Bacchio, but as Djibril Sow let the ball roll through his legs, Peque, I don't think he was really expecting the ball and wasn't able to get the shot away. At the other end, however, Deportivo Alaves with their first chance of the matchup and the first shot on target of the game took the lead on 16 minutes. Carlos Vicente with his second La Liga goal of this new season. Now it's fair to say it was a bit of a hit and hope. A good ball in from Tenaglia, then Vicente hits it first time, but Oyen Nerland in goal for Sevilla did well to get down in time, but he didn't get there well enough. His hand wasn't strong enough to keep the ball out, and in fact, it's his own mistake that leads to the goal for the hosts. Nerland really should have done better with that one. Alaves and Carlos Vicente obviously not going to care one little bit as they took the lead. Tony Martinez was making his first start since joining Alaves, and he came close to scoring his third goal on just his fourth appearance. But despite getting the better of Quique Salas here in that 50-50, he could not keep his shot on target. Nerland was well and truly beaten, but luckily for him, Martinez's shot went wide of the post. Deportivo Alaves would put the ball into the back of the net just one more time in the first half. It was Stoichkov helping the ball over the line despite the save from Nerland. It quite clearly crossed the line, but it would ultimately be called out and pulled back due to an offside from Carlos Vicente. Here we can see the shot from Stoichkov, the ball clearly crossing the white line. But after checking the semi-automatic offside, you can see Carlos Vicente in the build-up is indeed in an illegal position, and therefore Stoichkov was denied his first goal in the Spanish top flight. Saúl Ñíguez came relatively close next with this header just wide of the goal. Despite making only his third appearance and his third start for Sevilla since joining the club in the summer, he was already wearing the captain's armband, as without doubt he was the most experienced La Liga player on the pitch. Jesus Navas was starting on the bench for this one. Nahuel Tenaglia would then get on the end of this set piece, heading on target. That time Nerland did well to get both hands to the ball. It was then Carmona's turn, his cross to play the ball in. Shot would then drop for Agumet, who laid off the pass to Iheanacho. His shot blocked, the former Leicester City man unable to score, but he was also in an offside position. Alaves coming into this game having drawn and won in their first 2 La Liga home games, looking to extend this positive start to the season. And they were looking for a second goal before half-time. Carlos Vicente again causing havoc down the right, playing the ball in, but Toni Martinez unable to get his goal here. Images now, though, of the second 45. And Sevilla looking for a little bit better in the second half. Tori Luquebaquia with the first chance of the second period, doing well to get onto his preferred left foot, but the shot was actually blocked by his teammate Saul, who couldn't get out of the way in time. There was then a big talking point when Toni Martinez did well to win his individual battle with Tanguy Nianzou, got into the penalty area and was then brought down. Obviously, Luis Garcia Plaza thought his side were denied a clear penalty, but the referee Javier Alberola Rojas said otherwise. We can just see in the replay here. Obviously, Toni Martinez does lose his footing, but it's not really enough of a push there from Nianzou for that to be given as a penalty. Beckett was moved out to the left-hand side in the second half, trying to play the ball across. Luquebaquia then played it back to Saul, but his shot went straight into the hands of Antonio Sivera. Just see the ball there, Iheanacho just missing out on the cross. Luquebaquia playing it back to Saul. However, with Alaves' first clear-cut chance of the second half, similar to how they did in the first, they double their lead. It was Carlos Martin with his first goal in the top flight. There was a lack of communication, really, in and around the penalty area. Again, eyes on Nerland. We can see that it all starts with a long goal kick from Sivera. Pedrosa completely misses the header. Carlos Vicente keeps the chance alive, plays the ball across. Stoichkov hits the woodwork. And then Carlos Martin, it's fair to say, doesn't really know too much about the chance. It comes off the post, and it comes off his hip into the back of an empty net. Carlos Martin opening his account in the top flight. Former Atlético de Madrid man. So a goal in each half for Alaves, where really they were fairly comfortable, not creating too many clear-cut chances, but they still had the majority. Minutes later, Stoichkov almost made it 3-0 after he got the better of Adrià Pedrosa, but Nerland was equal to it. Good strength there from Stoichkov, but the Norwegian goalkeeper was there to make the save. Valentin Barco would come on to replace Adrià Pedrosa, and Chidera Ejuke would replace Lucien Agumé. First two changes of the second half for Sevilla. Luquebaquia on this occasion would pick out Djibril Sow. The Swiss international was unable to pick out a teammate when playing the ball across, and as well in the attempt to play the ball across, he actually picked up an injury. Did Djibril Sow, to the point where he would actually need to be replaced minutes later. Ejuke was trying constantly down the left-hand side. In fact, this was his first involvement, cutting in onto his right foot, but a little bit too optimistic with that shot hitting the target. As we mentioned there, so would ultimately have to be replaced. Nemanja Gudel would be coming on for him at that same moment in time, Tanguy Nianzou was replaced by Loic Badet. Stoichkov was then replaced for Alaves by Jon Guridi, and Antonio Blanco would come on for Ander Guevara. First two changes made on the night by Luis Garcia Plaza. Zorroza very much appreciative of the efforts of their players on the night. Carlos Martin and Tony Martinez were the next two to make way. Abder Rebak and Kike Garcia were the two who came on. Jesus Navas was watching on from the stands, well, from the dugout, I should say. He was unable to feature as all 5 changes had already been made. He actually scored the only goal of the game in Sevilla's victory last time out. And who scored the only goal for Sevilla on the night here was Dodi Lukebakio. It was a very nice finish indeed. Saul Niguez picking him out with a good ball in space. Lukebakio now with his second goal of the season, shifting the ball onto his preferred left foot. It took a slight deflection off Sedlar, but still it was always going to go on target. A good finish from Lukebakio, pulling a goal back for Sevilla and making it a little bit nervy towards the final minutes of the game. Joan Jordan was making his home debut for Deportivo Alaves, his first start for the club. He was given a standing ovation when replaced by Santiago Mourinho to hold on to the result. Alaves were 2-1 winners on the night at Zorroza as they got the better of Sevilla.